Hey guys, hopefully you're doing well today. And what we're going to do, obviously, is another Q&A session. We do these on a very consistent basis with our members. Hopefully you gain some insights on how you can run your business better, because that's why we do them, because we go into some deep detail. So we got a lot of questions today about how to work on multiple different platforms, and you're going to get some insights into some of the automations that we also have available as well that keeps your daily work time down to 90 minutes a day or less. Again, hopefully you enjoy, and hopefully if you've got some additional questions, just type them below in the chat, or not chat, but the comments below. That's right. So type them below in the comments and come and join us. We would love to have you. All right, everybody. Hopefully you guys are doing well. I am here in the studio answering your questions. I see a number of you flooding in. We already have some of you joining us live. Again, you can go to if you want to join us live, ask a question, go to cashflowdiary.com/live link on any Chrome browser that's not on an iOS device, and we will gladly have a quick chat. So this is where there's lots of new people coming in. Hopefully there'll be continuing more new people coming in. As you guys know, we're continually growing the community, which is great. And then so hopefully that's good. Interesting side note, though, for those of you in the whole short-term rental game. Oh, what's that? There we go. One of the things that's been interesting is that it's very interesting to me this time of day, because something is up. It's like every time I get ready to start doing this question and answer session, we get a flurry of reservations just before and during, and that happened yet again, which I think maybe you guys are good luck. Hey, I'm totally down for that. Anyway, we've already got someone here joining us live. Let's see if we can't there we go. 1, 2, 3. See if I can do this correctly. Yep, looks like I got it right. So everybody, let's say hello to Mr. Joe. Hey Joe, what's going on?
Not much. How are you doing?
So far so good. What can we do you for, sir?
Well, I'm just, I'm on here to listen to what everybody else has to say, but I can check in. I've got 2 units in Costa Mesa that are occupied, and we're in our when we finish November, we'll complete our second full month of operation.
And how's that been going?
Going okay. It's going okay. I'm a little concerned about reservations after these vacants, after these current guests depart. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing slow reservation.
There are two out here in Southern California. There are 2 months of the year that are really challenging. Those 2 months are November and February. So here, you want the good news or the bad news first?
The bad news first.
Bad news first is that February is worse.
Okay, so what's the good news?
The good news is November is better. That's the good news. The good news.
That's a trick question, because no matter what, the bad news is coming second.
Yes, it's all bad. It was kind of hard to say anything, but yeah, November and February are the challenging months, at least in this geography, in the coastal regions. Now there are other places like Tucson, Arizona, for example. February is really great. And it's very seasonal, but out here, November and February are the 2 months that are challenging. Now, here's the good news, though, is that occasionally we get NBA All-Star Weekend, or we get Chinese New Year and Valentine's Day. That kind of helps February a little bit, but it doesn't really carry it, unfortunately.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good. So no other questions right now?
None right now. If something comes up, I'll let you know.
All right. Excellent. So for those of you watching, feel free to come and join us live if you'd like. Just go to cashflowdiary.com/live link on any non-iOS browser. My job today is to help you and to answer the questions that you guys have. That's all we're going to be doing today, is just answering those questions that you guys got. So you bring the questions, you type them in the chat box. I'll be over there to grab them. Let me actually take a sneak peek at that while, let me see. Let me go look at that right now, in fact. Looking for questions. All right, got it. So I see Jay is here. Hey, how are you? Let's see, who else do we got? Latoya, Troy, Jill, Candace, Crystal, Mike, and Della's here. Sashiko, what's up? I see Steven. Hey, how are you, sir? And then looks like we also have Lovina. I don't remember saying your name before, but welcome. Kelvin, what's up? Kelvin here almost didn't with the unlocked course. I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Want to start in Chicago, but scared of the low season. How do I research it? Okay, so Kelvin is one of our newer members we just had. So for those of you who are not yet a member, so what happens is when you become a part of the Mastermind product, you get a 6-hour session with me. We do this in a group form. We do this once a month. And Kelvin is one of our new members who just went through his 6-hour session. And he's up in Chicago, and he's like, well, one, it's Chicago in the winter, and it's cold. And what he's talking about is like he's scared to start in the low season. And I get that. I totally get that. Here's the thought process and understanding, Kelvin, regardless, and this applies for everybody. Whether you start in high season or low season, there's always a benefit and there's always a downside. Here's what I mean by that. When you start in a high season, here's the benefit. The benefit is you don't have to, you're going to get a significant amount of reservations, and you can get a lot of reviews in a quick, short succession, relatively easily, especially if you're a new profile, because demand is so high. The competition is still there, but, you know, it's not like you're not going to get booked. Now, here's the thing. Because you're new, though, you're not going to be first booked or highest booked and earn the most revenue most of the time, because it's a new profile and a new listing. All right, so keep that in mind. This is especially true when you're not yet, keywords, not yet, working on repeat business. Like some of the reservations we're getting right now are a lot of repeat business from last holiday season, etc., which is cool. But here's the thing I really want to stress. You're not earning what you could be earning in high season simply because of the number of reviews. So that's the downside. Now here's the other side that comes down to when it comes down to looking at starting in a low season. The good part about starting in the low season is that you have time to build up your reviews to really make your money in the high season. So the same is true. It's building up reviews that matter, and there's a benefit either way. If you're building up your reviews in high season, that means the bottom of low season won't be so bad. But if you're building up your reviews in low season, that means the high of high season will likely be higher because you have more reviews. So all of those things matter. It ultimately comes down to reviews. There's really no wrong time to get started per se. There is a time of the month that I prefer. So let me explain this to you. So this is the one thing I would be thinking about. Kelvin, this is the one thing I would be thinking about. I prefer, because of the way rent and lease payments goes, I prefer to start a lease around the 22nd through the 25th of a month. Because with the 22nd if I start a lease around the 22nd to the 25th of a month, that 1 week of rent I'm paying for that 1 month as a proration or what have you, doesn't feel like a whole month's worth of rent. But what ends up happening is when you pay that up front, by the time if you're following our systems and our processes, here's what happens. You have an entire month of actual operations that you can put into practice before you have to pay rent again. So it really puts you I think it sets you up perfectly, because it's horrible to like start on, in my opinion, it's like really hard if you start like on a 5th or 7th or 10th of the month, because you have a very short window of, you got to get that unit up and get enough money for the whole next month, and your proration is so much higher. So I tend to like starting on the 20th, somewhere between the 22nd and 25th of a month. That I would be paying attention to. Now, with that said, 22nd is kind of a holiday this month, and same next month. So that's kind of the challenge that I see there. But starting right now isn't necessarily a bad thing, because typically in most geographic areas, New Year's, the New Year's as well as Christmas, that can be some really good money. And I've started listings right now. Here's the other challenge, it's a double-edged sword, is that things go on sale right now, but it's the holiday season and people are trying to make more money. So you can tend to get more deals on your equipment, and whether it's blenders and televisions. Like I was at Best Buy earlier today, researching and looking at televisions for everybody, seeing if anything has changed, and I did notice something that I will share with you guys regarding the TCL televisions that I just want to bring to everybody's attention. So but I'm excited about it at the same time, because it means you could possibly get a deal on some of your equipment, but at the same time some of the equipment could actually be marked up or not necessarily on a special, or worse, goes out of stock because everybody wants that television mount. That will happen. The cheap, inexpensive television mounts go out of stock. I'm just telling you now. Happens all the time. So just keep that in mind, Kelvin. I wouldn't necessarily be afraid of starting at any particular time. Yes, Chicago, it's cold, but here's the good news. Now that you're in the student group, make sure that you tag or just mention this. In fact, some of the people in the student group may already be reaching out to you, because we have a number of people in the Chicago area, obviously, and they can give you any additional insight that might be relative to Chicago. But at the end of the day, if you already live there, you know it's cold, you know what's up. But here's the thing, you got 2 airports in, and I believe it's O'Hare is either number 1 or number 2 for the number of people coming through, and that doesn't change just because it's cold, which it should, but it doesn't. So, you've got a lot to consider. So I don't think you're necessarily, quote unquote, starting at a bad time per se. So still follow the rest of the process. I think you're going to be great. All right, we have another person here who is joining us live. Let me see if I can switch the screen. Doop, 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 doop. No, let me try that again. That did not work at all. There we go. Excellent. So, looks like we have, yes, we have my East Coast brother from another mother. Hey, John, how are you?
I'm doing well, Jay.
Good, good, good. What can we do you for? Okay, what's the temperature? Because I got to know.
Oh, the temperature here? It's cold to me, to be honest with you. But it's not as cold as other friends I have. I have friends in Montana, and they're telling me it's like 10 degrees, so I feel like I'm in a good spot.
Gotcha. But no, seriously, what is it? Because I'm sitting in 67 and sunny.
I'd have to look it up for you. It's 63. It's 63.
Okay, that you're right. That's actually not that bad. That's actually not that bad. So, what can I do you for, sir?
So, where we are right now, we added like 3 units in the past month or so, and
awesome. So you're at a total of?
We're a total of 4.
Okay, perfect.
And what we decided to do is, because we've been building,
yeah,
we've had some things just kind of like fall through the cracks. So what we decided to do through the holidays through January 1st is just operate.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And kind of, make those processes better and that kind of thing. So I have several questions for you. So one of the things we've done is, I think I related to last week, we had a bad guest through HomeAway.
Yes, I remember.
And we learned some things that we needed to shore up on that end. So what we decided to do, I just want to run this by you. What we're doing now is we are basically sending a rental agreement and asking for a photo ID through Cookie, because that's what we're currently using. Can't wait till we find out what the new thing is, but that's what we're using currently. And that's what we decided to do. So we had a guest this week that looked that way and went through and fine. Just making sure that's what we should be doing. We're still using HomeAway payment system, however.
Oh, okay.
So we don't
have the option to not do that?
We do. I just haven't figured it out yet.
Okay. All right.
And I believe they penalize us for doing that as far as.
Right. I want you in control of your payment. I want you in control of the flow of when you're not connected to, say, an Airbnb as your marketplace or any other marketplace, I want you in control of the flow of funds. It's really important.
So you're thinking we should go full bore and just do like a Stripe account?
Yes.
Take the account.
100%.
Okay. We'll make that.
Okay.
That's where we are with that. The other thing I'm struggling with is we're having trouble knowing still when our cleaners are coming.
What do you mean knowing when? I don't understand.
So I notify them automatically. They get a text message and they have access to the calendar to say, we have check-ins or we have check-outs these days.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm having trouble getting feedback saying, hey, we're actually coming at this time, doing it then. So I feel like we're doing a lot of follow-up saying, hey, did you get the message? Are you coming today? And I don't want that to press. So part of what we were thinking about doing, we've had somebody that we have 2 different cleaning crews. And I'm thinking about making one of those kind of our manager for that and letting them worry about that.
Bingo. That's how I've approached it. That's my hands-off, worry-free approach or worry-less approach. It's what we tend to do. So we do a number of things. Upon confirmation, we send the request. So that's number 1. Number 2, they have direct access to a version of the calendar that just shows the arrivals and departures. So they have that. And then the morning of I think this goes out at 8 a.m. or it's either 8 a.m. or 5 a.m. I can't remember which. We send what we call a confirmed departure email as well. So we send all 3 of those things are done with automation without any human intervention whatsoever. And the standing agreement is we are assuming you will have this cleaned by the 4 p.m. deadline, no matter what. And I have chosen to not try to micromanage when they're actually going to arrive and when they're actually going to leave, etc., unless there's a special circumstance being usually defined as early arrival or late departure. So for the most part, we let them decide if, hey, you know this has to be done at 4 o'clock. If you only have 1 cleaning today and you want to start at 3:15, it better be right and it better be done at 4. If you want to start at 11, it better be right. It better be done by 4. I don't really care what time you start. I just care that you finish by this time. And so long as you meet that service level agreement and it's right and it looks good and our QA person says everything's fine, then do whatever you'd like. That's how we've chosen to approach it at this moment, and it has worked out better than, because I used to do the exact opposite. Be like, hey, it's 11:35, why ain't they there? Or it's 11:01, why are you not there? It's 12:30, why are you not? And it was driving me nuts.
Yeah, and that's kind of the problem I'm having. It's creating anxiety for me because even if I have that agreement, I need the feedback to say, hey, we're coming.
That's now, and that's, so here's what I then started doing, because you have the automated systems to be able to know when someone arrives and not. I'm assuming they have their own code, correct?
Correct.
All right. So what I started doing is that I started setting alarms for myself at like 12:30, especially if it was, and just checking the doors and going, okay, I haven't seen them yet, so now I'm just going to let them know, hey, it's 12:30, no one's arrived at this unit, what's going on? And then I set another one, I think it was like 2, or no, it was like 1:30. So it's 12:30 and 1:30 if for some reason, and I just let that be. And when they knew that I knew when they got there or not, like I could timestamp it, like I've been, that type of accountability, it made it go away, to be honest. It has not been an issue. Now, there have been times where for some reason or another, some software, whatever, we missed one. And that has happened, and nobody caught it, no matter with all of our checks and balances, still nobody caught it. But that's very rare.
Yeah, for sure. I'm thinking the same thing. What I came up with is I need to put one of these people in charge of that.
Yep.
And let them collect 10, 20 bucks a cleaning, whether they complete it or not.
Right.
And then let them worry about that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do 10, 20 bucks is going to get expensive because when you said that in my head, So understand what I'm starting. We're processing, let's say 115, 130 reservations on a monthly basis. So I'm like, wow, that's like 2,500, 3,000. You know what I'm saying? I start thinking like those numbers. So just be careful about it being too much money. I'm not saying it's not worth it. Just saying, remember that money is coming out of your pocket somewhere.
Yes, I mean, I'm passing it along. So I'm thinking I'm going to charge them $60 for cleaning, meaning them, the customer.
Right.
And $50 of that is actually going to the cleaners, $10
No. Totally understood. Totally understood. Okay. I'm just saying, think about that, though, as you go through the process.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And I can't even remember what the third thing was. Oh, it was late check-ins and early check-outs. So we've been having quite a few inquiries about that. And in the past, just because we were getting ramped up, we just kind of like made accommodations as we could.
Yeah.
Now we're starting.
Now you need a system.
Hey, it's going to cost you for that, and we have people who kind of push back on that and say no or yes, which is fine. But I was thinking about maybe we should say that up in our initial communications through our basically like our initial thing says, hey, we're glad to have you here. If we can accommodate an early check-in, we will. If we accommodate a late check-in, we won't. I'm thinking about changing that and saying, here's the price structure. If you would like to check in, you can do this.
Got it.
If you would like to check out late, you do this. What do you think about that?
I don't. Okay, so here's how we do it. First of all, we no longer do late departures. Period. Okay. Late departures, if you're already having trouble coordinating when your cleaning team is going to show up, a late departure is only going to make that worse. So we just 86 late departures, 100%. If you want a late departure is defined as you are booking the next night. That is the late departure, okay? So that's number one. Number two, early arrivals are only when the previous night was empty. So therefore, we stopped trying to coordinate and do early arrivals on same day tight turns. So if someone is leaving at 11 and we have another person coming scheduled at 4, but who wants to arrive at 2, we've totally stopped that because, again, too much stress for yours truly. And I'm just like, you know what? It's just not worth it relative to the frequency with which it happens at this moment. So what we do is, if the night before, hear me clearly, if the night before is empty, then inside of our automations at 9 a.m. that day, 9 a.m. the day they arrive, if the night before was empty, we send an automated message which will offer them an early arrival, or that same automated message says we cannot accommodate an early arrival. That's it. If they respond to the automated message saying, yes, I'd like an early arrival, then we charge them the $100 or $75 and they pay it. Cool, no problem. If they don't, no problem. And then when we get people asking for late departures, if they really, really need a late departure, they know they're booking the next night. And we have people sometimes book the next night if it's available. Other times they just got to go. I'm sorry.
Okay, so if I'm hearing you correctly, late departures are you got to book the next night.
Yep.
Early arrivals are based on whether. Can you explain that again?
Early arrivals, so today's Tuesday. Today's a Tuesday. And say you are arriving today, you were scheduled for arrival today at 4 p.m. The only way you would get an offer for an early arrival is if last night, Monday night, was vacant. If Monday night in your unit was vacant, then Tuesday morning, 9 a.m., you're going to get a message from us letting you know that we're preparing your unit, and, oh, by the way, you can arrive early, and here's the price. If you want to.
That the previous day.
What's that?
You send the early arrival.
No, same day. You're arriving today, but the only reason you getting the communication that an early arrival is available is because yesterday evening was empty. That's the only time we offer it.
I tend to get those inquiries previous to that.
And now, if you get the inquiries previous to that, then that's fine. Then we're going to actually charge you a little bit more to make up for the fact that the previous night is gone. And that's fine. I'm fine with that, too.
Okay.
If you get them ahead of time, just make them pay. It's early arrival, but they're really paying for the night before.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm following. Thank you.
Yep. Cool. Excellent. So if you guys got questions, you see how this works. This is what we do for our members. We give them an opportunity to come and ask and talk and chat with us, because we want to make sure that when you have a question, you can indeed get it answered, because what we care about here is just making sure we can continually move you forward. All right, so I'm going to go check. Let's check over here. Oh, my goodness. Lots of questions. This is a great. So, and my phone, I don't know if you guys keep hearing this, but my phone is going nuts. I think you guys are like good luck or something. This is really awesome. Like, so keep the questions coming. Let's see. Hey, Francois, how are you doing? Valentia? I think I got that right. Diamond, how are you? And Kelvin says, I don't like being here now. Need to figure out who I'm serving. Well, Kelvin, yes, here's the good news. You don't have to serve people in Chicago, even though you live in Chicago. All right. Oops, scrolling back. Hey, Mike, J, no, Mike, I was trying to avoid that question. Natasha, so Mike is asking about the replacements for Toki. For those of you who have been following along in the Facebook group, you know that almost right after we finished this last week, our house flooded. So our entire first floor, well, there is no first floor. We literally have no floor right now. We have a walkway to the stairs to go upstairs. That's all we've got. And miraculously, the one place downstairs that did not get flooded is literally where I am standing and where we do this recording. And the machines that are drying out the house just left today. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been lots of fun over here. Natasha, how are you? Good afternoon, Jay. Hey, Jody, Gamer. Rebecca, what's up? What's up, Jay? Rebecca says, Erica and I say hi. What's up, you two? Are you traveling right now? I'm assuming you're traveling. Mike, another question. Are you utilizing an email marketing campaign, newsletter, anything else to retarget previous guests? Not yet, Mike. We're still collecting data and information. I've been scoping out these prices. I've been scoping out the prices on all the tech stuff. Yes, Gamer, this is a perfect time. Black Friday is a great time to buy. Sometimes you may not need a new router, but, you know, never hurts to get one or two if it's on sale, or a new blender, kitchen stuff. Yep, this could be a great time for that, guys. Great time for that. Let's see. What am I? Okay. Is that right? Yep, there we go. See what we got. Rebecca, how are you managing your QC person if you don't know when your cleaners are finishing? Our QC person doesn't go at the moment when the cleaners are done. He goes before the next guests arrive. I don't know if that makes sense. So let's pretend we have a cleaning, and the QC person knows to go before the next person arrives, say at 4 or what have you, so that we can get the report that's necessary. So whether they go the exact second that they're finished or not, I don't know that there's any benefit to that per se. I don't know that there's any benefit to that. If there is a benefit, I'm open to learning, but we haven't done it that way yet. James, how are you? Latanya, what is going on? Joe, I'm my own QC person with only 2 units, but I feel that my cleaner needs to be done before 4 p.m. so that I can have time to do my inspection before guests arrive, especially in the event that I find something amiss in the cleaning process. Do you agree? Yeah, that's completely fine. And again, we tell them to be done by 4. Oftentimes they're done at 3 because they do 2 shifts. They do an 11 to 1 and then a 1 to 3. That's usually what has happened. When that fails, or if that fails, we typically know about that ahead of time. Mary Holder. Hi, Jay. Our city just passed the final version of the bill severely restricting short-term rental stays effective October 2019. Okay. Would you still consider doing until then, until we explore any loopholes that may allow us to continue beyond then? Yes, Mary. I love the ordinances. The ordinances, once the city passes an ordinance, I get a little excited because it becomes very clear what we can and can't do. I would read the ordinance, and yes, as you say, look for the loopholes. It's not so much a loophole as much as the areas that they were not concerned about. Most of the ordinances that I have read usually don't even cover apartment buildings or multi-unit dwellings. So Joshua says, great policies. Thanks. Joe says, Jay, so if you allow an early arrival, what do you charge? It depends, honestly, on my mood. I have charged as much as $75 for 2 hours early. I'm flirting with the idea of starting to charge a flat $100 fee regardless of how early you get to arrive. Gamer, are your automated messages for early arrival being done using the questions feature in Smart B&B? So for some of you wondering, there are many tools that we use around here, and to help a lot with our automated messaging and data collection and a lot of the things that help us operate efficiently, we use a tool called Smart B&B. Go there, you can get a free trial, cashflowdiary.com/STR data. So Gamer, the answer to your question is that it's a combination. So we use not only, actually I'm wondering, I might be able to pull it up. Give me one little second here. Let me see if I can pull this up. I might be able to just show you. We're using a combination of the questions feature that you're referring to, for sure, but we're also putting it in a custom code as well. So we have a custom code as well as the, let me see if I can pull it up, messaging. Questions. So let's switch the screen to this one, I think. Yes, there we go. And let's get rid of that. So now, actually, I do this. Nope, that didn't work. Let's do this. So now you should be able to see both. Okay, so early arrival. So right here, this is under early arrival. Yes, we have the questions. You know what? Let me do this right now. I'm going to go ahead and do this right now. So this addresses what John was talking about earlier, meaning when someone asks before or during their reservation. Oh, I scrolled right by it. So right here it says our standard arrival time is 4 p.m. for additional fee of $100. So I'm literally changing this right now. So when someone asks, so basically what happens is someone asks the question, hey, can I arrive early? The system knows how to recognize that question and respond or insert that into any of our messages. And the other thing that I was saying to you, Gamer, is right over here under custom codes. This is where we also put right here. So at 9 a.m., this text is inserted if the calendar before, if the calendar actually says the night before was empty. So with that being said, I'm also going to be changing this to 100, change that to 45, change that to 65. So it just got more expensive to actually get it, because we do get a fair amount of these, and you know, hey, if it's really that important, they'll pay it. They always do. So hopefully that makes sense, gamers. So we use both a combination of custom codes as well as the questions in order to make that work. All right, let's go back here. And again, for those of you wondering, what you just saw was the inside of a tool called Smart B&B. It's been very helpful. You can go to cashflowdiary.com/STR data for a free trial. Let me get back to some of these questions over here. Hi, what's up, Kelvin? What's best, buying or leasing furniture? Excellent, Kelvin, great question. Best is a superlative. That's language, meaning there is nothing better. What's best is what is going to get you started. I don't want someone not starting because they can't buy their furniture and may need to lease it first. Ultimately, owning your furniture is where you're going to be. Ultimately, if you have to lease first so that you can then get started and then own, then great. In fact, a great strategy could be intentionally to lease your furniture from the beginning, because then that money you save from the initial outlay might be able to put in, you might be able to put up more units. So say you had and I'm making up numbers right now, right? Well, let's pretend you had 100 grand and you're going to take that 100 grand and if you bought your furniture, maybe you get 7 units. But if you lease your furniture, maybe you get 10. Okay, cool. Either way it goes, what I'm saying is ultimately you're going to want to be in a situation where you own the furniture. So one of the strategies that I've seen used is where you lease the furniture and then maybe you lease it for a year and then you approach the furniture rental company and say, hey, I'd like to go ahead and buy out my contract so I can own the furniture. So not only did you get started, but you got started in a very leveraged way and now you own the furniture, especially after you've already tested it and you already know, yeah, this is the table that works and this is the couch I like, and you can swap all that stuff out. It's not a bad idea. How much do you pay your QC inspector? I actually don't remember. Because they send us an invoice. They send us an invoice. I'm gonna say it's $15 an hour, something like that. That's my guess. Hiya, how are you? James, what are your thoughts I think you mean on, buying a duplex, triplex using a mortgage, and then short-term the apartments? Top 2 pitfalls and top advantage of doing short-term rentals this way. That literally has nothing to do with short-term rentals. That's all about buying the property. How you buy your property is how you buy your property. I don't really, that doesn't matter. I mean, the only thing to consider is that, yeah, that I don't really care if you buy the property or not. That doesn't affect, you need control of the property. Whether you own it or lease it is what is the only thing that matters. If you have control, that's great. If you choose to buy your property, great. That doesn't have, that has very minimal effect on how your short-term rental works. So the only thing I would consider is if you plan on running a short-term rental business for the purpose of, and this is what I hope most of you are doing, for the purpose of building an engine that can produce down payments over and over and over again, you need to put as much money into getting as many units up as possible as opposed to worrying about a down payment on a house. TJ, what's going on? Is that Neville? I think that's Neville. Is the name. Where do I go in your training package to get more info on where to market your furnished units? I can hear you talking, but I cannot talk back. If you want to catch up and talk live, what you have to do is you have to go to cashflowdiary.com/live link on any Chrome browser on a non-iOS device, Neville, and then you and I can talk back and forth. And then inside the training, if you go inside the mastermind product in the marketing section, we have a lot. And inside the blueprint, we go over, I think, 30 or maybe even 60 different places where you have, inside the resources or Rolodex section, you have a lot of places that you can choose from to market your properties. Gamer says, awesome, with 2 exclamation points, so that's great. If you want to go, oh, thanks, Aya. Hey, Kara, how are you? Do you have a video tutorial or recording that walks us through the specifics differences of listing on platforms other than Airbnb? It sounds like there is a lot more to consider with HomeAway and Booking.com. There is. So, Kara, let me say a couple of things. That listing or tutorial is coming. In fact, what's also coming, yeah, I'm safe to say this. We have a new instructor who's going to be helping all of us. So many of you, you know about Scott, and if you've been paying attention to your business systems, you've gone through his material, and he has helped a number of you. In fact, I believe he would be, I believe Erica and or Rebecca would say that he was very pivotal in helping them to scale and understand processes and how to build them, blah, 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 and do what they do, which is great. Well, the next person coming aboard is going to be doing a lot of what Kara was just asking about in terms of some of the specifics and differences of just how to complete listings, things of that nature. He's got a lot of experience, and it's going to be cool, and I think you guys are going to enjoy that. For those of you who already have the Mastermind product, that's just going to be upgrades that are given to you for free. For those of you who don't yet have it, you may want to consider getting it as soon as humanly possible, because the price is obviously going up as we add new things to it. And if you haven't seen the presentation, feel free to get over to cashflowdiary.com/star. cashflowdiary.com/star. Now, with all of that being said, this is how I want to answer your question, because I really need you to hear this, Cara. You don't, quote unquote, need a second platform. In most geographic areas, one platform, i.e. Airbnb, is more than enough in terms of traffic. Now, with that being said, Booking.com eats everybody's lunch in terms of volume of traffic. I notice I said volume. I did not say quality, all right? And here's the difference. There's a lot of procedures that are naturally in place, safeguards, specifically as it relates to screening processes that are being automated and done for you as an operator on Airbnb, that are not necessarily done on most, if not all, of the other platforms. And that's one of the biggest things you begin to take on yourself, is that screening procedure. You heard John talk about last week how he had an issue with a guest. Well, part of that is because the automated screening that he's used to doesn't exist on many of the other platforms, and you have to find other ways to get rid of the element you do not want. Additionally, you heard today when John was talking about how he was collecting payments. That's the other issue, is that payment collection becomes a bigger responsibility that now you must take on. So this includes your deposits, this includes refunds, this includes if you're doing partial deposits, like a 30% down with a payment plan type of thing. All of those things begin to matter, right? Plus, each platform has a different way of emphasizing listings that they want you to book. For example, Airbnb tends to be a low to high type of marketplace, whereas Booking.com is a discount marketplace. Both, you could be at the same price, but here's what I'm saying is that lowest price appears first when you're on Airbnb, but lowest price, it doesn't necessarily appear first on Booking.com. Greatest discount. So, for example, another way of saying that is, let's pretend you were actually trying to get $100 a night, but then you advertise, say, $150 a night with a 30% off coupon. Well, wow, 30% off sounds great. Well, 30% off of $150 is still $100. But because that's the way Booking.com operates, you actually show up in their search engine better than if you just do $100. There's a lot, because it's a completely different world, it's a completely different environment, and they're completely different customers in a lot of cases. So there is no, what you're asking for, Cara, is just such a big topic. It's ridiculous. But it's definitely something we're working on, because it makes a difference as you grow your business long term. James says, awesome, thanks, you're welcome. Joshua, are you having any Black Friday specials? If you've been paying attention to the emails that we've been sending out, you'll know how we are handling Black Friday. And so I'm just going to direct you to your email. Look for your coupon. I think there's a coupon. Anyway, go look in your email. I'm not going to mess up what the marketing department has put together. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just telling you to go look at the email, Joshua. That's why we did it that way, so that Jay doesn't mess it up. All right? So go there. That's what I'm going to tell you. Ladero, hey, how are you? Let me keep going. Someone gave me an angry face. Candace, why did you give me an angry face? What'd I do? Candace gave me an angry face. What's up with that? I'm calling you out. I want to know why I got an angry face. All right, let's get back to some more of these questions. Mark, hey, James Keys, what's going on, sir? Mark says, yo, Jay, I'm noticing that our 2-bedroom units have lots of guests that stain our white towels and sheets. Oh, boy. I feel a rant coming on right now. I really do. I think a rant's coming. I haven't read the rest of this, but we'll see how it goes, right, guys? All right. Whew. When charging guests for linens, what's the best procedure you use that prevents a you said they said scenario? I went to send them the photos of the stained towels, but what prevents them from saying it wasn't them? I flirted with the idea of baking a reminder that all my linens are clean, and or making, I think is what you meant, a reminder and unstained in my Smart BNB auto message to reinforce the fact that any stain I find is their fault as well. Got it. Mark, all right. So this isn't as bad as I thought. The terms of service for Airbnb specifically state that a guest has 24 hours from the point of that at which their reservation, I think it's reservation starts, or it could be arrival, I can't remember which, in order to bring up any issues and or concerns. Any issues and or concerns. I'm going to say that one more time. Any issues and or concerns. If they did not bring up an issue, i.e. these towels are stained, within that 24-hour period, Airbnb assumes that, hey, everything was fine. You said nothing. If there was an issue, you should have brought it up. They will side with you. They have 24 hours to do that. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps in some way, shape, or form. TJ, how are you? Elliot, any more news on pay for internet? Not for pay for internet. Yes, we are still going through some testing. I think I need to try a different router because we've been having some challenges, Elliot, with one of the routers that we've been using. So pay for internet, although we think it's going to work out great, that's fine. Pay for movie, I still haven't made any progress on that because there's not a movie, there's not a provider. That's really what it comes down to. Is I would love to be able to charge for movies. Yeah, especially right now. Are you kidding? Yeah. Joshua says, okay, thanks, need to get on the email list. Totally understand. Your subscribe button is bringing up an error message. Okay, Josh, I don't know what. Let's tag Dave on that. Because I have no idea what you're... So hopefully he'll be able to do that. Hey, Tyler, how are you? So hopefully things are good there. Your flyer inside the resource module, is this for the landlord or social media? Natasha, got it. You can use that however you'd like. If you think it's going to be effective on social media, then social media. I put it there because people were asking, well, what can I give a landlord? And I say, well, cool, you can give this to them. Here's a leave behind. Here's a... Notice I said leave behind. Don't lead with it. Here's a leave behind. This is what you can leave behind after you've already talked to them so that it's easier for them to remember what it is that you guys represent and have the ability to do. So that I'm fine with. I've not tried to use it on social media. It actually never occurred to me to do it that way. So let me know what happens. You know, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is you getting more of what I assume you getting more of what you're after in the first place, right? So I would love to know how it goes using it on social media. Again, if you want to come, ask us a question or ask me a question, cashflowdiary.com/live link. Oh, wow. It's almost that time. Amazing. It's amazing. All right. Does the internet provider give you a router? Why do we need our own? Got it. Kelvin. So when I was talking to Elliot a second ago about the internet provider, what he is referring to is that I have been testing routers. They're specialized routers with specialized software, etc., that allow you to charge for internet on a per person basis for an amount of time. For example, I think we did 7 days for $30 or $6 one day, something like that. I think that's the pricing plan. I can't remember right now off the top of my head. Because and it's just a faster speed than the speed that they could get for free. So it's a router that allows us to not only collect the data that we need for marketing purposes and retargeting later, but it also gives us the ability to have multiple speeds of internet, multiple classes of internet that we can charge for. So that's what he was referring to. And but yeah, obviously, if your internet provider provides a router, you can totally use that. What we do care about is remote management on those routers. So sometimes you may still need to go get your own router from the store, especially if you want to have remote management capabilities, because once you have a certain number of units, you're going to spend a significant amount of time managing the internet stuff. Ladero, Kelvin. Let's see. Jay, I think Jay meant that he needs a certain router to charge. So yes, that's exactly right, Kelvin. Yes. Oh, you guys are there. I'll try Chrome using Firefox. Yes, Joshua, it does not. Oh, okay, yeah. I tagged Dave on the. So if there's an issue, anytime there's like an issue with a button or something, feel free to tag Dave because he's in charge of figuring all that stuff out. My brain can only do so many things simultaneously. All right, let's see. We got more questions over here. What commercial insurance do you carry? All of our commercial insurance is done by Proper, which is Proper Insurance, which is underwritten by Lloyd's of London. I think that's the question you're asking me, Elliot. But there are a number inside the Rolodex. We have a number of insurance providers that you can choose from. Inside the Rolodex, inside the blueprint, for those of you who are there that have it, you have that list of all of those vendors and how to find them, questions, sample policies, blah, 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 blah. So you know what you need to get, which is good. I tried both and both don't work. Joshua, thank you for letting us know. Feel free to tag Dave. Hopefully he'll be able to make that happen. Kelvin, you like that, huh? Yes, that's the idea. The idea is always looking at additional ways to increase your revenue. So hopefully that makes some sense. Excellent, everybody. Oh, what's that? Russell, what's going on? Jay, are you offering any Black Friday deals in your marketing for your guests at your units, not for your training? Oh, that's what you meant. No, I haven't thought of, no. No. Russell, we should be increasing pricing during the holidays, not decreasing. You can buy the same unit for twice as much. Come on down. That's, sorry, I'm being silly, but not really. Our demand goes up, right, for the units at that particular time. Now, if for some reason I was marketing trying to get Thanksgiving week full and it was, say, August, yeah, and then maybe if I was trying to do something then, if I already had that information. But right now, no, no. No. Ladero, on insurance, have you thought of utilizing an umbrella insurance instead of Proper per unit? And you do not want to do that because you need insurance at each location to be covered, because an umbrella policy will typically require you to have sufficient coverage at each underlying location in order to be effective. So you can have more, but you can't like do one instead of the other. So that would be a bad no-no. Do not do that. But again, you know, I can't give you legal advice. Candace, I still want to know. I see this little angry face. I don't know what this angry face is about. What's this angry face about, Candace? Oh, she changed it. Okay, well, it's been changed, so I guess she's not angry anymore. I'm like, man, what did I do? How did I make you angry? All right. Check out Ziosk for in-unit entertainment. I will. I'll go look at that. I'm down for options. Hey, Jacob, how you doing? So hopefully that's good. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I had that question proposed, and now I know. Oh, someone was asking you. Got it. Totally understood. Yep. Well, I try to do my best that I can to get all of your questions answered, even the ones that I guess you're being asked. For those of you who, you know, maybe you're watching the replay on YouTube, feel free to come and join us in the mastery group. Again, these Q&As are normally members-only types of things, so it's normally reserved for our students. I've been including the mastery group recently, which is fun and exciting, but feel free to come join us. For those of you who aren't yet students, probably should consider. As mentioned earlier, we have lots of new content coming your way. We've been working behind the scenes, building deeper infrastructure, making sure that we give you more of the information that you absolutely need. Because at the end of the day, this business continues to grow and it continues to change. We've got I'm excited about the things that I know about that we're not telling you about right now. So feel free, come join us, figure it out. And for those of you who have not yet found your way into one of our programs, feel free to go over to cashflowdiary.com/star, because we would love to have you, because at the end of the day, we want to give you more in-use value than we take in cash value. More in-use value than we take in cash value. And I think you can find a significant number of people here in our groups who would say that that's kind of what we do. So with all of that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it has been fun talking to you today. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Until next time.
Jay Massey is a full-time real estate investor. He's an entrepreneur.
He also teaches people how to
find deals, raise capital for real estate investments.
Meeting Jay Massey in person, you'd think he's just a regular guy. He's got jeans and a t-shirt on and a pair of sneakers. But he's built up a multi-million-dollar empire.
I hope you do have an empty notebook because it's going home filled.
Jay gives back so much value that I've never seen.
Now, at this moment, when I'm looking at the kitchen, things are going through my head.
You want to be friends with him, and he treats you like you're the only person in the room, even though it's for the benefit of everybody.
This is how, when you ask yourself, how does Jay do it? This is how.
He tells people that they have to take action, and they have to take action now. I took the action, and the results have paid off.
What happens when the marketplace understands who we are and how we go out there?